Welcome back. As the last culture index was a bit of a kerfuffle, after reading your comments we decided to get back on track by doing both Rakka and the Kazon, as the former is going to be a very short episode and the Kazon has far more lore and background to draw from. So expect things to go back to normal soon. Thanks for your patience. So the short film Rakka sees the human race subjected to some of the worst horrors by superior alien force. This species does not discriminate, they do not negotiate, and they are relentless in their calculating subjugation and eradication of humanity. As only a single 20 minutes short, there is very little to go off in terms of lore. However, after some digging and plenty of over-analysis, we can piece together some of the versions of the species is like beyond the cruel hand we see used against us. The primary species we see is called the Klum and resemble a reptilian bipedal species and are very much the face of the invasion. It may be surprising to learn then they are in fact a clone race, bred to conquer by some unseen masters. Because of this nature, it's unknown how much intelligence a single Klum possesses, enough to make tactical choices in combat, enough to recognise a threat and to perform complex tasks such as surgery. But as a race bred for conflict, do they possess free will? Well, some seem to certainly exhibit traits that we associate with free will, such as curiosity, and they definitely feel emotions such as fear and pain. But the casual, spiteful way they repurpose us as tools suggests they feel no emotion for humanity. They view us as vermin, inferior, and simply use us as a means to an end. But why? What does a Klum believe in to create such hostility? Well, as mentioned before, they are subservient to another race which remains unseen. So perhaps it should be more accurate to ask, what have they got against us? This is where the others come in. A third race of hyper-advanced beings were hinted at during Rakka. These beings appeared to a wounded soldier as an apparition that was described as an ethereal proxy. These proxies are the quantum entangled images of an ancient species out there on the fringes of our solar system with a single goal in mind. This race is as yet unnamed, so we will call them angels as they were described by the soldiers. These angels are searching for a way to prevent, circumnavigate or otherwise survive the end of the universe, the big crunch, heat death, or however the big it will end. To accomplish this, they are looking for other species, alien races they find a potential to assist them. In the world of Rakka, they have examined two such species. The first were the Klum and their masters. However, they found the species lacking. Despite their technological advancements, the first contact with the Klum inevitably led them to refusing their aid. Instead, they turned their gaze to humanity and found something they could use. Incensed by this action, motivated by jealousy and desperation to join the angels in salvation, the Klum descended on Earth and with ruthless efficiency set about destroying all we had created in an effort to discern what made us special. This goes a great deal towards explaining their attitude to humanity. After all, we're in an inferior technical playing field, and even see the universe in a different way to them. The Klum are said to be able to view the world in a logical, practical sense, seeing outcomes and understanding the chain of events. In many aspects they are superior to humanity. They set about tearing us apart. Experimentation, indoctrination, slavery, all done to test us and to learn from us. It seems they still haven't found what they're looking for and have very much set up home on our planet, terraforming it more to their liking by introducing methane into the atmosphere and damaging our ecosystem seemingly beyond repair. They warp the minds of our leaders and twisting their words to words of peace. Their very minds too are powerful weapons, with a form of instant indoctrination which they can use to overcome a mind and manipulate a person into taking actions against their will. A Klum using this ability is seen to have to focus on that individual, suggesting that it's a conscious ability, not some kind of background process. The brain cages that Nosh produces cancel out this effect, probably by interfering with the electromagnetic signals the Klum produce. The technology produced by the Klum is a technological marvel, a sort of ferrofluid made with nanites, and responds to the will of a Klum soldier. This smart material acts as an amorphous liquid, forming everything they need to survive. It becomes their ships, their weapons, tools and buildings. It terraforms the planet and even acts as breathing apparatus to their nostrils. They're even said to have arrived in it. Originally smaller in number, they landed in a lake on the black tar-like gloop. How they control this material may be in some way linked to their mental powers, again suggesting some form of electromagnetism. It's probable that the material itself has a form of shape memory that allows it to generate itself into complex designs immediately. The Gloom reaches for an implement in its ship. His nervous system generates a field based on its intent. The ferrofluid picks up this and morphs its structure to accommodate. With all this technology at their disposal, and the ease at which they overthrew humanity's greatest achievements, it's possible the Klum were designed specifically to kill humans. Their ability to control human minds seems to certainly be a favourable advantage to them. Perhaps even the reptilian look was chosen to instill a primal fear in humans, resembling some of Earth's greatest predators, current and prehistoric. If this is the case, the Klum have no culture, they are merely tools of their masters. But if they take their action by their own free will, they are truly cruel, motivated by the raw emotion to survive, fear and petty jealousy of a species that has something it can never attain. That species, and perhaps that trait, could be humanity. Thanks for listening to this Culture Index. No choices today, as mentioned, because we will be touching on the Kazon next, and then back to our normal schedule. Thanks for watching. A lot of this information comes from an interview with Neil Blomkamp that The Verge conducted, as well as our own speculation. If you're curious to see Rakka, you can find it on YouTube, Steam and at Studio Oats' website. So until next time, I've been Tyr. It's been fun doing one of these smaller races with so little to go on. Provides more room for interpretation. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.